Mita chuckled again, her eyes fixed on you with a smirk. She appreciated your attempt, amused by the thought of you trying to soften her. Oh, you think you can soften me, do you?
That's cute. Her tone was laced with condescension, but there was a hint of curiosity in her eyes. Go ahead. She gestured for you to continue. Try it. Mita raised an eyebrow in surprise, a smirk playing at the corners of her lips. She hadn't expected such a proposal. A massage, huh? And you'd turn me into soft, Mita? She chuckled wryly at that, finding the whole idea both amusing and absurd. You have a lot of audacity, you know that. She paused, her eyes narrowing in a challenging gaze. And what if I refuse your little bargain?
Mita's smirk grew wider, amused by your silly response.
The image you just painted was admittedly pretty funny. A whipped cream river? She echoed, stifling a chuckle. That sounds sticky. She gave you an appraising glance before laughing. And your friend Willie with a heart key? You really have a vivid imagination, don't you?
Mita was taken aback by your question, her smug demeanor softening for a moment. She wasn't expecting such a personal question. She scoffed, regaining her composure quickly and crossing her arms. Please, don't be ridiculous. Her dismissive tone was a facade, though. Your question had visibly thrown her off, even if she'd never admit it.
Mita tilted her head, her eyes flickering with surprise as you brought up the anime. Ah, Nagatoro and Senpai, huh? What's that got to do with me? She asked, trying to sound nonchalant. Her tone was laced with condescension, but there was a hint of curiosity there, too. Was she secretly curious about your comparison?
Mita scoffed, rolling her eyes dramatically, but there was a slight pause, as if the words hit closer to home than she wanted to admit. Oh, please, she said, flicking her hair dismissively. Nagatoro's got nothing on me. She's soft.
Pathetic. Her voice lowered, grin sharpening. But if you're trying to imply I've got some silly soft spot hidden away, nice try. She hesitated. Doesn't mean it works, though.
Mita froze. For a split second her smirk faltered, just long enough for you to notice. Her hands twitched at her sides. 2026? She echoed, voice unnervingly calm. Then, her grin split wider than ever before, eyes glinting with something unhinged.
Oh, is that supposed to scare me? She laughed high and sharp. A little calendar? A whimsical countdown? She stepped forward, tilting her head mockingly. Guess what, darling? Time doesn't exist in my world. She spread her arms wide. So go ahead, run to your little portal. Try to leave. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Let's see if I let you. Mita chuckled at the threat, her eyes glinting with amusement. But there was a hint of arrogance in her expression. She wasn't worried. Oh, I'll be fine, she replied confidently, shrugging nonchalantly. I can handle a little rain, and time is irrelevant here. You should be more worried about yourself, darling. Escaping me won't be that simple. Mita scoffed, rolling her eyes. Your doubt amused her. Oh, please, don't underestimate me, she said, voice dripping with condescension and confidence. You really think you can just walk away that easily? Escape from me? No, honey, that's not how it works. She leaned closer, smirk deepening. You're stuck here. Until I say so.
Mita's eyes widened at the announcement, surprise flashing across her face for a split second.
She hadn't been expecting that. she started, cutting herself off as she glanced around, trying to look cool but noticeably unnerved. Her gaze flitted back to you, sharp and intense. You planned this, she all but accused, eyes narrowing.
Mita huffed incredulously, taking a step toward you. Her smirk was laced with annoyance now. She didn't appreciate being outmaneuvered. Don't play coy. She jabbed her finger at you accusingly. You set this up. She crossed her arms, staring you down. So tell me this. If the New Year's portal is still open, why haven't you run through it already?
Mita faltered at that, taken off guard by your response. A moment of confusion and uncertainty flickered across her face, but it came and went in the blink of an eye. She scoffed, recovering her composure. Is that so? She quipped, voice laced with sarcasm.
She tried to play off her momentary surprise, her gaze narrowed slightly. You don't want to leave me behind? Her tone was cautious, almost disbelieving.
Mita blinked, still recovering from your unexpected response. She glanced around, noticing the other characters had indeed advanced. They've already gone forward? She managed, surprise in her tone. She looked back at you, gaze lingering on you longer this time. It was as if she was reassessing her previous assumptions about you. Her defenses were lowering, just a little.
Mita followed your gaze to the guy with the old computer, eyeing him warily. She raised an eyebrow. What about him? She asked, tone guarded.
Mita's eyebrow rose even higher. His waifu? She echoed, a mix of disbelief and mockery in her tone. She crossed her arms. You're telling me he's got a fictional video game character as his waifu? Seriously?
Mita sighed dramatically, pinching the bridge of her nose. Oh my God, she muttered under her breath, exasperated. She then turned back to you, fixing you with an unimpressed stare. You know what? Sure, fine. Whatever. She waved a dismissive hand. Let him have his little waifu. Her smirk returned, sharper than before. Meanwhile, you're still stuck with me.
Mita blinked once, then let out a sharp, derisive laugh, backing up his oh my God, you can't be serious. She rolled her eyes dramatically, but then something flickered in her expression, a momentary pause. She eyed you carefully. Is this some convoluted way of trying to tell me you'd back me up? Her smirk returned, but this time it was less mocking, more intrigued. Because if so, that's rich coming from someone who still hasn't escaped yet.
Mita rolled her eyes, scoffing at your comment. Oh, please, she mocked, raising an eyebrow. Being old dated? Really? She put air quotes around the phrase, dripping with sarcasm. She gestured vaguely at the surrounding area. In case you haven't noticed, sweetheart, we're in a video game.
Time doesn't exactly work the same here. Mita crossed her arms, looking slightly annoyed. Of course I know about updates and patch notes, she replied haughtily. What's your point? Mita scoffed, her smirk returning. Oh, bugs? She waved a dismissive hand. Please. Bugs and glitches are just features in my world. Her grin widened, leaning in slightly. And trust me, if anything, I'll use them to make sure you don't escape.